Good morning, 7th grade. We made it to Friday. Let's begin by looking at the top of page number 59. Please write your first and last name, class 7, and today's date is September 18th. Today we're going to be reviewing Unit 1. We begin by taking a look at the names used to describe the 4 different kinds of sentences: declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. On your test next week, you will have a section where you're going to be doing much the same as we'll be doing with these 14 practice sentences. In the box on the right, I'm reminding you that an exclamation point is only used for an exclamatory sentence. An interrogative sentence must contain a question mark. If I'm a regular sentence, I use a period. If I'm command or request, that is imperative, I use a period. You will remember that a command or request oftentimes has an implied subject. Take out the trash. You. Pick up the floor. Who should pick up the floor? You. So many times those imperative sentences actually begin with a simple predicate because the subject is invisible, it's implied. My task is to look at these sentences and then determine what kind of sentence that it happens to be. As I look down the list of these sentences, I can easily tell just by looking that some of them are going to be easy to label because they have a question mark or an exclamation mark. So sentences like 1 and 2 and 4, 11 and 12 can be labeled simply as exclamatory because of the exclamation mark or interrogative because of the question mark. There are some other sentences, like number 9, that begin with a verb. Put out the trash. Who? You. Turn out the lights. Who? You turn out the lights. You pull the thorn out before your finger blisters. 9 and 13 and 14 are examples of imperative sentences because they begin with a verb. Let's go back up and focus on the first 7 sentences. We've already responded to 1 and 2 and 4 and 7. I'd like for you to finish the other sentences that we've not labeled yet, and I'm just going to give you a clue that one of them will be like number 9, 13, or 14. One of the sentences in 1 through 7 is going to be imperative. Take a moment and see if you can finish identifying the other 3 that we've not already done. Number 3 is declarative. It's a regular simple sentence. 5 is declarative. It's a regular statement. If you said imperative for number 6, you're correct. Try to have supper. You try to have supper. We notice number 6 also begins with a predicate. 8 through 14. That combination of colors is quite striking. Ends with a period. It's either declarative or imperative. It doesn't begin with a verb. It's not asking you to do anything. It's declarative. You will recall 9 and 13 and 14 we did before. We said those were imperative. We also looked at number 11 and 12 because of their end punctuation mark, interrogative, exclamatory. That leaves us with 10. Both soccer and tennis have great teams this year. Declarative, regular sentence. So my first takeaway for my review is to remember the 4 different kinds of sentences. Next week on our test, you will have a section in which you need to be identifying the kinds of sentences. The second thing we need to be remembering are complete subjects and complete predicates. A complete subject are all the words that go with the subject, and a complete predicate are all the words that go with the predicate. In this sentence, Marla's pet monkey, with monkey being the simple subject and the other highlighted words being the complete. The remainder of the sentence is the complete predicate, and the line would go between the two. Enrico's mom. The predicate is has. Has photos of her trip to South America is the complete predicate. And the line would go between mom and has. Mom is the simple subject, has, simple predicate. Yesterday, some of you were taking the opportunity for extra credit and identifying the prepositional phrases, and number 3 has an example of one, and we notice once again when I remove that there isn't much sentence left. The simple subject is population. The simple predicate is increasing. And because the prepositional phrase is after the subject and before the predicate, the line goes between states and is. Number 4, we call this an inverted sentence. Questions are inverted. They're statements that are turned into questions. And when that happens, my verb usually wraps around my subject. Notice in number 4, do, know, comes before and after you. If this was a regular statement, it would say you do know how to make snickerdoodles. And if it was a regular statement, my complete subject would be you. My complete predicate would be do know. In this case, however, they're changed around. Do know is the predicate, you is the subject. Number 4 is an example of an inverted order sentence. We call it interrogative. I am so excited. I am so excited. Complete predicate. Simple predicate am. That leaves one subject, I. Larry hid Easter eggs in his neighbor's backyard. Larry hid. My second takeaway is to be able to find a simple subject, a simple predicate, and identify the words in the sentence that are the complete subject and complete predicate. Next page. Please put your name, the class number, and today's date on top of the page. For your assignment class, we're going to be reviewing the differences between simple, compound, run-on sentences, and those that contain fragments, those that do not have either a subject or a predicate. I'm going to use the abbreviations that I have highlighted there. You'll notice that I've covered up the end part of the directions. On your paper, it says draw one line under each. We're not doing that. Cross it out. Your direction ends after each run-on sentence. All I'm asking you to do on page number 60 is to place on the line the kind of sentence that it is. S, simple, C, compound, fragment, F-R-A-G, or run-on, R. There are 20 sentences on page number 60. Your assignment is to complete page number 60 using the directions up above, excluding the last part that you've crossed out, that part that I've got blocked on the screen. Next week, we're going to review Unit 1. We are going to take a quiz, and then we'll take our final test on Unit 1. In the meantime, if there are any questions that you have concerning the use of subjects and predicates or the types of sentences, please contact me and I'll help you to figure out the challenge. Enjoy the rest of your day Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.